All right, Friday is here. That means it's a Prez free zone here on the best betting show ever, and you will not see three happier people in the world than you are right now as the one and only Art the Caesar in the house live from the Westgate in Las Vegas. Carmine, I refuse to lose Bianco. I'll tell you a little bit more about that, although pictures are worth 1,000 words, they say here. Gentlemen, always a pleasure to see you here as we've got more World Cup action coming up, full slate, Major League Baseball. We do have a couple of WNBA games on tap here. So, Art, let's dive in on this Friday with how did you do last night as Team USA looked all right there in the first, couple of minutes of that match last night, but then they brought people in from the stands, it felt like, to play in the second half. How'd you guys do?
It was a good day for the Bucks. I mentioned yesterday between Germany and the United States, we needed one of those teams to lose outright, despite the games really not meaning, much to either team. The public still came in and bet Germany. They bet the United States. They put them in all the parlays. They both lose outright, so that was a really good result for us. The Yankees also lost, so good day and good night for the Bucks.
Yeah, the Yankees lost by shooting themselves every chance they get. Imagine being a guy that goes 5 and doesn't give up an earned run and loses. Amazing. All right, so we've got that's an interesting night last night, positive for the books. That doesn't mean tonight will be that way. So talk to us here, Art. What are you seeing sharp betting-wise today on the slate?
Absolutely. Let's start with Major League Baseball. They took the Nationals. Ooh. They took the Rays. They also took the under in the Yankee game, under 9, minus 115. The one WNBA game they hit was they took Golden State, the Valkyrie. They're at home. They took plus 1.5, plus 1. World Cup, not really sharp action, but the thing we need to avoid today in the World Cup is the over in the France game. They've bet that up pretty heavily. It was 3 minus 110. It's now 3 over minus 130. A couple of people have been taking shots with Norway, plus 425 at the highest. It's now plus 375 on the three-way line. So probably need France actually to win outright with all that dog money that's coming in on Norway.
Interesting too. I mean, I don't know, Carm. France at $1.60. You feel it's like, wow, we got to be able to get that. But you're seeing a lot of Norway money, Art, right? Is that we're expecting a little lay down? Well, shocker, France is going to lay down. That is an absolute shocker there, Carm. At minus 160, will we ever see France at that price again, Carm?
Likely not, unless they're playing Germany, or which they could face in the next round, or the round of 16, or the round of 16, or Spain, Argentina. That's the only time you're going to see them at that price. But they're betting the over. I'm not touching this game, other than the fact that in the rundown, Joe, I've got an interesting play on this game. We're going to talk about officials on this one as well too, but. France just needs a draw, and they have they win the group and move on. And Erling Haaland, believe it or not, says prior to this game, he goes, "This is a meaningless game." He goes, "We're both into the knockout stages. We don't care." I think he's laying a little bit of the thing there that they don't care. I believe they care.
Playing possum.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it wouldn't shock you. But Art, the books are all over that. I mean, we saw it with Australia and in Paraguay last night. Hey, you two need a draw. So not for now. So you guys already taking that into consideration in the risk room?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, if it's especially in these soccer games where the result of a draw can benefit both teams, and that's basically the way they're going to play it. We mentioned before we came on the show, when the draws are that low price-wise, they're probably going to hit.
Yeah.
You're normally seeing, they're that low for a reason. You normally see draws in the upper 200s, lower 300s. Sometimes in these wacky games, they could be even higher. So when you see a draw plus 140, plus 130, most likely they're going to hit.
All right, so we got some interesting money there, to say the least there. WNBA, by the way, Caitlin Clark has already been ruled out for tomorrow's game against LA. And what did you see here today? I mean, there's only, how many games are there? 3 games, I think, tonight in the WNBA, Art?
Yeah, 3 games. Like I mentioned, really the only thing we saw sharp-wise was the Valkyrie. They took a little bit of money at home, +1.5, +1.
All right. Now, you said UFC earlier, too.
Yeah.
Back, interesting. They're all getting to be a little head-scratching, these cards here. But what are your guys telling us about sharp bets in the UFC here?
Our sharp UFC guy's on 2. He's on Manuel Torres. He laid -110. That's now up to -125. And he took a shot on a dog, Eric Nolan, +155. It's now +135.
All right, there you go. Some UFC as well. So, time to dive into our parlay of the day here. And I cannot recall exactly how we did yesterday, Art. Can you?
I know my game got rained out. I had the Cardinals. So
you had the Cards, yeah.
I had the Cardinals. That game got rained out.
No.
I'm not 100% sure how we did.
Carm, how did you do? I'm just going to go out on record and say Prez probably screwed us. What are you thinking? Since you went 3-0 anyway, Carm, yesterday, so I don't know. Did you hit yours?
I don't think either one of my players started the game, so I'm going to go with no.
All right, so we had a lot of rainouts there.
Which means they're void, void bets or whatever, right?
We gave you 4 plays and only Prez lost. That's great. All right, so let's start from scratch here. Art, talk to us, my man. Where are you going today?
It's basically a pick 'em. Give me the Yankees. They'll win game 2 here in Fenway.
I'm still disgusted, beyond disgusted, with that game last night. How about you, Carm? Where are you going for our parlay today?
We're going plus money. We're going on a World Cup game today. Cape Verde, or Cabo Verde, as they're called, and Saudi Arabia. The draw +235. The game's pretty much split. It's all plus money. Each team on the 3-way line is +170. The draw's at +235. Cape Verde needs a draw, and they are into the knockout stages. So they've got 2 draws thus far. If you remember, Spain 0-0 and a 2-2 game with Uruguay. Another draw here. They're into the knockout stages. I'll take the +235.
All right, +235 there. I'm going to go with the Orioles here today. Trevor Rogers is a new guy since he hit the IL and came off of it. I mean, hell, he dominated the Dodgers last time out. I think he'll be able to handle the Nats at home here. Boy, that Nats bullpen is something special, aren't they? Yeah, they are good times there. There is your parlay of the day there. Of course, we got predictive markets. We'll do the whole MLB rundown. Carm will go over all the games today here in the World Cup. We'll hit the mailbag. In the meantime, Art, get the hell out of here. We will see you again next week, man. Should be a fun one as we get a little bit closer. Or they'll drag this World Cup thing out until at least August. No, Art? I mean, come on.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we'll have rainouts. There'll be lightning delays. We'll have to, maybe they'll add a few more teams between now and then. Anything to drag it out. Art, get out of here. Always a pleasure, brother. Thanks for swinging by. All right, Carmine, we got a few things to go over here. First and foremost, let's talk, Carm, about your night last night, because it was pretty special, man. 3-0, I believe, is what you went yesterday. Is that correct?
Yeah, the 5% winner in the first one, which was the Germany-Ecuador game. 2 goals in the opening 9 minutes of that game. And then I had to wait till about the 80th minute or something for the third one. Numerous chances, but a winner. 4% winner on Netherlands, -1 first half, and they easily covered that one. And then the over in the USA game, even with the USA sitting some players, I knew that there would be plenty of scoring in that one. And Turkey got the fortunate 99th minute, 9 minutes of extra time, when they hold up the sign that only says 7 minutes of extra time. I guess the ref had Turkey. Yeah. But 3-2 final there, and a 3-0 night. So we picked up 12 units. I'm pretty happy about that.
Yeah, I bet,
Yes.
Carm, because I saw this floating around here where you started off. If I'm not, wasn't it 8-1 or 8? No, you start 9-0. You started off, then you hit you got a couple of bad
Tailed
beats,
off.
and then everybody all of a sudden stuck a fork in you. But apparently, you weren't too happy with that, huh?
No, I wasn't. I saw the tweet yesterday from WagerTalk saying I was third amongst the cappers in the World Cup, and now I'm first with the cappers. And you know what I mean? Like good old AI. I said to them, put this graphic up and include the GOAT in it. I thought the GOAT would be me. Unfortunately, it is Michael Jordan instead. So I can't blame them for that one. The guy is the GOAT.
Wrong sport. I would have took Pele. I would have taken a lot of people as the GOAT, but certainly not MJ. Although he probably owns a soccer team, like he owns a NASCAR, an F1 team. Like what else doesn't he own here? Yeah. So, but great job, Carm, crushing it, my friend. Which means we got to talk about some of after what we saw yesterday. Not a lot has changed your mind, I'm going to guess, right? We've got France coming up here today, but we have covered some of these future markets pretty well. But as far as you're concerned, right, we're still looking at the favorites being the favorites, although some of the matchups are laid out now for the knockout rounds. Anything there interest you? Any potential upsets in the knockout round with teams that we should concentrate on?
It's, the one I think really stands out to me, it kicks off tomorrow with Canada, and that's why I'm wearing the Canada jersey. Or on Sunday, actually. On Sunday is the first knockout stage game, Canada at SoFi Stadium against South Africa. And then I think it's after that. It is basically like 2 on Monday, 3 on Tuesday, 3 on Wednesday. I believe the one that stands out is the Mexico one. Mexico draws Ecuador, and if you watch the game, Ecuador yesterday, Germany started all 11 starters. Joe, their normal starting lineup for Germany was out there for this one. And they scored 2 minutes into the game, and you're just thinking, if you're an Ecuadorian fan, this is not going to turn out well for us. But they score 5 minutes later, tie the game up, and then win it late in that game. And now they get Mexico, and they can beat Mexico. I honestly believe that they can go to Azteca Stadium and beat Mexico. Now, a lot of people will tell you Mexico's only lost twice lifetime at Azteca Stadium. But we're not talking the 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s of soccer here. It is a new era of soccer, and this Ecuador team can play some phenomenal defense. They shut down Germany after that opening goal, and Germany mustered nothing else the rest of the game. They can do the same here. It's going to be a defensive battle, likely a low-scoring game, and it wouldn't surprise me if the Ecuador-Mexico game goes to extra time and eventually penalties. I can see that as that happening, but I would sprinkle on Ecuador to pull off the upset here.
You think? All right, so you like Ecuador to possibly to get the Grant? They were celebrating though after that game, were they not, Garb? They were pretty happy in that one.
I went to a game, Joe, this summer, earlier this summer, I think it was, and it was a friendly, Ecuador and Canada at BMO Field, where six of the World Cup games are being played. And it was 80 to 90% Ecuadorians. The stadium was yellow. You would be surprised. Wow. They come out fully dressed, pants, shirts, hats, flags. It is like a World Cup game for them, and it's a friendly. And they were out there in full force. I was the minority. I really was in a Canadian jersey in Canada with that many fans. But you got to love them. Yep. And they're going to be in Mexico. They'll find a way to be at Azteca Stadium, and that the stadium is going to be Ecuadorians and Mexicans, and that atmosphere is going to be absolutely electric.
I love it. Yeah, we got should be a lot of fun now that we're starting to get a better understanding of of who's who and what's what. And we got a couple of markets here, Carm, that I found interesting, kind of off the beaten path. And one of them, the head-to-head markets I found fascinating. And one of them is who's going to score more goals, or I'm sorry, the total goals, in fact. We'll go to this market here. How many total goals in the World Cup are we going to get? Now, I've seen a couple of places that are actually keeping it, 177 total goals so far in the World Cup. This is interesting market, Carl. I don't know what the history tells us on this, but are we ahead of schedule here this World Cup? Are we seeing more goals? 302.7, I guess, is what they're forecasting here. But what's the rate of goals? Are we seeing a lot more than usual here, Carl?
Yeah, well, we're 60 games into the World Cup. As far as let's even talk about over-unders. If you're using the flat number of 2.5, there have been the over is 33, the under is 27. They've played 60 games thus far, and normally in a normal World Cup it's 64 games, and the last 2 World Cups, I believe the number landed on 177 and then 179. This World Cup, after 60 games, there have been 177 goals scored thus far, and there's still 44 more games to go. So it's going to be a squeaker, but it likely gets there. The difference here is we're into the knockout stages now, Joe, and we don't have those the minnows that are advancing into the knockout stages. The teams that Curacao, where Germany beats them 7-1, or teams like Spain running up the score against other teams. So we're getting much better teams into the knockout stages, and maybe not for the round of 32, because we're going to get 8 third-place teams. But once we get into the round of 16, that's where I think it slows to a crawl. So it's a tough one, whether we get there or not. 123 goals across 44 games.
44 games, yeah. Which I guess
so
is
we're
why
looking
the
at an average
290.
of 3.
Yeah, so that's crazy. Yeah. I mean, 290 plus is the favorite at 83 cents. But to your point, I mean, are we going to get 300? It's trending to about 303 goals, but again, 57 cents here if we get 300 or more goals, 310. This feels like kind of a no market across the board here, Carm, because unless something ridiculous happens from this point on, I don't know. Are we averaging that many goals here?
Well, we're averaging right now. We're averaging 2.95 goals per game. So again, if you look at the average, and there's 44 games left, that means there's going to be another 129.8 goals, so 130 goals. So on top of the 177 that we have.
Yep.
So that's 307. But again, you have to factor in the fact that the thing that the bottom dwellers are done.
Yes.
All the 4th place teams are gone. So it stands to reason that the games from this point forward are going to be lower scoring games. So the one change, I think, obviously that offsets it is, as far as the goals market goes, it's not based on 90 minutes plus injury time. It is total goals scored,
yep,
which includes extra time as well too. So a game that is 1-1, you're going to get at least a 3rd goal, possibly a 4th goal.
Interesting.
Because it's not a golden goal thing. It's 30 minutes, 2 15-minute halves. So you have to sort of factor that into it. But there's going to be some low scoring games in the knockout stages, and there's going to be some games that go to extra time 0-0 and go to penalty kicks.
Interesting.
Along the same lines, we're starting to see some low totals, and just look at some of the games, Joe, still to be played today and tomorrow. As Art mentioned, there's a couple games with low draws.
Yep.
Yesterday, Australia and Paraguay, the total was 1.5, and it finished 0-0. We talked about that. The exact price on 0-0 was plus 380. You now have tomorrow Algeria and Austria. The total there is 1.5. You have a game, I think, Egypt and Iran later today. It is tonight, another game with a low total, because a draw gets gets them into the knockout stages. So for every one that you get a low scoring game, you're going to need obviously a bunch of goals in another game to maintain that 2.95 average.
I'm going no. I'm going no across the board on all of those. Some of those are going to be correct here. So I don't mind that market. And I mentioned the head-to-head market, and I thought this one was fantastic here, Carm, because what better than Messi versus Mbappe on who is going to have more tournament goals? Now, Messi, I believe, has 5. Mbappe's got 4. So he's only a goal ahead, but we're talking 57 cents for Messi to have more goals when it's all said and done. Then or the tie is also interesting at 9 cents there, Carb. So I guess at this point, we're wondering which one of these teams or which one of these guys will have more opportunities to score goals because the way it maps out, are these two ever playing one another here, Carm?
I haven't seen the projection because I think it becomes clearer today only because France is playing today, and if they were to lose, obviously in this to Norway today, their path to the finals is much different than whether they win. Obviously, as being a second place team, so it'll be clearer where they are in the bracket after today's early game to get a better indication, but. It's strictly a head-to-head, so it doesn't even factor in those ones like Vinny Jr., who's on 4 goals. There's, I think, three different players that are on 4 goals, but Argentina's only scored 5 goals through 2 games, and all of them have been Lionel Messi. so it's like, I got you guys covered.
Yep.
I got you guys covered. I'm just going to keep scoring. You guys just stand around. And feed me the ball for a while.
Any chance they both end up with the same amount of goals at 9 cents, Carm?
They could. I mean, as far as the Golden Boot goes, which this isn't. This is not the Golden Boot. This is
just these two.
Just tournament goals.
Yep.
The Golden Boot factors in assists.
Yep.
As the tiebreaker, right? So if they end up on 7 each. Hypothetically, and I think that's what happened in the 2022 World Cup because I had Kylian Mbappe to win the Golden Boot, and he won it, and I think it was based on assists was the tiebreaker. So it is normally you would think the man with the most assists in the world in soccer, he holds the record. Lionel Messi would have some assists in this tournament, but they've only scored 5 goals, and he's got all 5 of them. So.
To your point, then, Messi, it doesn't have. I mean, there are goals that are going to be stolen from Mbappe. It is not just Mbappe on France that is scoring goals here. To your point about Messi, it's either Messi or bust. At least that's the way it is lined up so far. So I don't know. I guess that's why he's 57 cents to the yes, that he will score more goals than Mbappe because nobody else has shown an ability to steal goals from him.
Yeah, and the thing that I think that you have to look at, Joe, as well too in this one is so you have the game against Norway today, and we'll see what Mbappe is able to do against Norway, but then you have to look at tomorrow. Tomorrow, Argentina plays bottom of the group Jordan, and they're a big favorite in that one. Does Messi play the full 90 minutes in that game?
Yep.
Normally, the way it works is when Messi starts a game, he does not want to come off.
Right.
It's always been like that at Barcelona. It's always been like that at Inter Miami. When he starts a game, he does not want to come out of a game unless there's some tightness in the hamstrings or what have you. He doesn't cover the field like he once did. He's readapted his game. He's reinvented himself, so he doesn't have to go as he did in Barcelona. Drop back, pick up the ball in his own end, and proceed. He literally, I don't want to call him a floater because the guy's the GOAT, but he can literally wait at midfield and then start his attack from that point forward. So the chances of him getting injured against a team like Jordan, I don't see it happening. But the chances of him scoring a couple of goals and maybe even 3 against Jordan could very well happen.
Love this market head-to-head there, Carm. You don't That's great. Sometimes you don't think about those markets here, but those are great markets here at this point. So a couple of predictive markets, total goals, and who scores more goals there in the head-to-head. Always a good time. But now, Carm, we got to break down those games coming up here in the World Cup rundown. We'll do the same with Major League Baseball. But first, of course, it is time to look at the Prez in a leotard, which means it is time for some business here, Carm. So kick us off. Tell us exactly what you got rolling here heading into the weekend over at WagerTalk.com.
Yeah, he must be golfing. If you've golfed with him, Joe, you know that his best club is the foot wedge.
Yes.
He uses it quite often.
Yes.
With that
Nobody's
said,
got more
not
balls in his
show.
pocket than Prez, I'll tell you that. Yeah.
So fresh off the yesterday's card, we have 3 plays up today at WagerTalk, including I think they're all 3%. They're all 3% plays in this one. No 4% best bets, and a 5% play loaded for Saturday, and a 5% play loaded for the knockout stages. So if you pick up that World Cup package, which is $129, but you use coupon code WC20, and I think that code expires on Saturday, so you might want to take advantage of it now. You get an additional $20 off. So you get the tournament package for $109. That includes every single play right through to and including the finals.
Love that, Carm. Love it, love it. Lock loaded myself, Major League Baseball here today. I have got 3 plays up, in fact, that are getting posted. 1 is there. 2 more are coming. You can get the package of all 3 at one price there over at WagerTalk.com. That's the way to do it. We also have some breaking news here, as it appears the New York Mets have seen enough of their head coach. Mendoza has just been fired because, well, they suck, and I don't really know that it has anything to do with the coach. But he is gone, but we've got those plays coming for you over at WagerTalk.com. All right, Carm, I'm going to run down quick here some Major League Baseball plays, as the Mets thing is absolutely hilarious. Who saw that coming? Just about everyone. They've been screaming about that for days. But let's dive in here. We'll do a quick MLB rundown. It'll start with Paul Skeens on the mound for Pittsburgh. The problem with that is the Pirates don't win Paul Skeens starts anymore. They don't score enough runs, and all the money has come in on Pittsburgh. Abbott going for the Reds. Abbott's actually, look at his last 2 starts here, guys. He was rough early. Last 2 starts, he has cleaned it up in a big, big way, including a big win against the Yankees last time out. But, gonna go ahead and take Skeens here. Astros at the Tigers. Arrighetti taking on Montero, who's been much better than people think. Arrighetti has gotten lit up here a little bit. I like the Tigers at home there. We told you about Trevor Rogers. That's my favorite play over the Nats. Rangers and Blue Jays. Eovaldi taking on Patrick Corbin. I don't know what it is with the Blue Jays. They get runners on base and can't score. I don't know. Go figure. I'll take the Rangers in that one. Diamondbacks and Rays. Zach Gallen's on the mound, which means I'm taking the Rays team total up and over. Yankees at the Red. Screw you, Yankees. I'm so disgusted in you. Phillies at the Mets. Well, even with Zach Wheeler on the mound, I guess I got to take the Mets because, well, they just fired their manager. Although I have no idea what a Thornton is. He's pitching for the Mets. Hell with it. Let's take the Mets. Mariners and the Guardians there. Louis Castillo versus Cantillo. Neither team can hit water if they fell out of a boat. Under for me there. Cubs and Brewers. It's Ms. Day for Milwaukee. The Cubs are sending out Colin Diarrhea, and the Brewers will win that one easily. White Sox and Royals. Boy, 2 teams going in the wrong direction. I'll take the under in that one. I will take the Twins and Taj Bradley over the Rockies. I'll take the Marlins over the Cardinals. I'll take the Dodgers over the Padres. The Athletics and Angels to an under, and the Giants and Braves also to an under. And there you go. That's your Major League Baseball rundown. Carm, 9,000 games that mean nothing in the World Cup here today. Yeah. You break them down for us here. You got it.
All right, let's start with the Norway-France one. I get that they're betting the total, much like Art said in this one. I'm going to go a different way with this one. Michael Oliver, and if you're familiar with the Premier League, you're familiar with Michael Oliver or Champions League. He just loves to dole out the penalties. So I will go with, will there be a penalty awarded in this game? Yes, plus 175. Senegal and Iraq. Goals will be the order of the day in this game. Senegal's a huge price, minus 475. You can't take that. But what you can do is take Senegal to win and over 2.5 goals, minus 165. That's available at DK and at FanDuel. Cape Verde and Saudi Arabia, the draw, plus 235. That was the one I mentioned in our opening segment on the parlay of the day. Cape Verde just needs a draw to get into the knockout stages. That'll be a huge accomplishment for them. So I will look for them to get it done at plus 235. Uruguay and Spain. I'm taking the under in this game. I get it. Spain, deadly team, but Uruguay needs at least a point, a win or a draw to get into the knockout stages, or they're going home. So I'm going to look for them to play compact, defensive, and try and keep this scoreless for as long as possible, under 2.5 in that game. Egypt and Iran. Yeah, the writing's on the wall in this game. The draw, plus 160. The draw favors both teams. I can see that happening here. And finally, New Zealand and Belgium in what is likely to be the blowout of the day. Give me over 3.5 goals. I think Belgium is going to send the New Zealand home in a bad way here. Give me over 3.5 goals. This one's going to have at least 4 in it.
Interesting stuff there, Carl. I saw earlier it was at plus money. Both teams to score in that game there. It's not like Belgium, some sort of lockdown defense. So I don't know. Can feisty New Zealand get one in there? Can we get both teams to score if we're looking at an over?
Yeah, it's tough. I don't think they will. I think even if you look at the betting line, you just see it. Belgium is a big favorite as well too. They haven't really performed thus far in this tournament, but much like a lot of the European teams, they sort of build throughout the tournament and start to look a little bit better. I think that's what happens with this Belgian team. This is a game in which I believe with Doku will be back in the lineup for them. He offers a lot of pace on the wing. They're going to get balls into the box. I think they're going to score plenty of goals in this one, or at least I hope they do. So over 3.5. I don't want to stay up till 11 o'clock to watch a
I agree
1-1 draw.
I agree. Well, and the Spain game, how about that one? This was also reasonably priced here. I mean, Spain, I feel, is going to get one. Both teams to score, minus 115, 110, somewhere in that ballpark. Does Uruguay get on the board here is the question.
Yeah, it's the, if we're looking at and I'm going to have a quick look at it now, the exact score market for this game, I would think that one of the lowest prices, excuse me, on this one is likely to be the 1-1 score line on this one, because I think it's always tough to keep Spain off the score sheet. So you look at these the prices, and the 1-0 for Spain is plus 475. The next lowest price is the 1-1 draw at plus 550.
I like that.
That seems to that seems to pretty much highlight what is going to happen here. Uruguay, a defensive mistake cost them that game against Cape Verde, where the goalie came out, the defender tried to pass it back, and it ended up into an empty net. And that cost them 3 points, or essentially 2 points. They would be on 4 points right now into the knockout stages. Now they have to do the unthinkable, which is beat Spain in a game. Spain is good with a draw. They win the group. So I'm looking at it that maybe this is one of those backdoor or backroom handshakes, guys. 1-1 serves us both. Nobody gets injured. No yellow cards, and we go home happy. The under is getting a lot of love right now. So it's at minus 130 or minus 140 on the under.
Love that. All right, there we go, Carm. We got some soccer coming up here today. Of course, heading into the weekend. Matchups galore here. We'll figure it all out after tonight as we head in. So plenty going on there. In the mailbag, Carm, a lot of folks there thanking you, appreciating all the World Cup knowledge here that you've been coming on the show and hanging with us here for the last couple of weeks. But it's just getting good here. Knockout stages will be here, starting Sunday, I guess, is the first round. Is that what it is, Carm?
Sunday, the second place teams from Group A and B, which in this case are the surprising South Africans and Canada. And
Love it.
It is crazy that the enormous South Korean population that is in LA, they've just sold off their tickets. They're like, I don't want to go watch these two teams.
Unreal. Yep. Unreal. It's a long flight home.
There's still
people.
a path. Yeah, listen, there's still a path. There's still a path for South Korea to get into the knockout stages. So it is not as if they have been eliminated from this tournament, but they will not be playing in California should they get in right now. Right now, they are, having played their 3 games, they are 6th ranked amongst the 12 teams. With 3 points and a -1 goal differential. The problem here exists is that Algeria is playing Austria. If the game is priced at +130 for a draw. If Algeria was to somehow surprise and win that game, they leapfrog South Korea. Scotland are likely, they're holding on to the 8th spot, Joe. They're likely to get bounced. Cape Verde, with a draw today, knocks out Scotland and assumes one of the spots. Then you have Congo, who Dominican Republic of Congo, who are on 1 point, a win by them today in their final game, and they play Uzbekistan. So we should probably expect them to win that game. 4 points, puts them into the knockout stages, knocks out another team. And then finally, Senegal, who have no points and a -3 goal differential. If they beat Iraq by 3 clear goals today, they jump into a knockout stage spot, a 3rd place spot on goal differential, because they'll be at 0, which knocks out Scotland, which knocks out South Korea, which knocks out likely Algeria as well too. So South Korea needs about 17 different things to happen for them to get in, but their fans are hopeful.
I love it. Absolutely love it. All right, so much more coming up next week, guys. Obviously, as the fun is over in the group stage, it'll be all about as we head into July. Hard to believe here. But the good news is, guys, as we get to July, football will be a little over a month away, and all the craziness will begin once again. But Carm, appreciate it as always. Great job this week. Make sure you head over to Carm's page. Take advantage of that opportunity to partner up with him now through the end of the World Cup. Go grab those 3 Major League Baseball plays we got locked and loaded for you over at WagerTalk.com. And then come back and join us again for another edition next week on Monday of the best betting show ever. Cash the tickets. We'll see you again next week, guys. Appreciate it.